Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
Especially my campers now. Good morning.
Good morning.
Thank you so much for that rousing good morning. I am Dr. Makelia Mitchell. I am the Regional Director for the Midlands region for South Carolina State's Office of 1890 Research and Extension. It is just a pleasure for you all to be here today. It's my pleasure to welcome you all here today. This has been a very quick process, but we've had a lot of little twists and turns, but we're just very excited that you all are here. Today we gather for the ceremonial signing of a partnership between South Carolina State University, 1890 Research and Extension, and the Orangeburg County Sheriff's Office. Today's signing signifies South Carolina State 1890 and the Orangeburg County Sheriff's Office commitment to investing in Orangeburg County youth to provide quality learning experiences. To achieve this goal, we are partnering to offer youth empowerment camps, which will be held throughout South Carolina State 1890 Midlands Service Region this summer. And this partnership, I'll give a little brief overview of how it started. And I don't want to take all the credit myself, because back in September, only a month into me being a member of the team, we were voluntold that we were going to be a part of a group that was participating in a leadership experience and a leadership extension experience. And in that experience, we were able to learn about different grants and learn about different opportunities, and just kind of think of something in our community that we wanted to see, and maybe fund in our community that we thought was a need. So, we're going through the program, we're talking about our ideas, and one day in passing, our very visionary leader, Dr. Whiteside, just said, we have to do something about the crime in Orangeburg County with the youth. We have to make sure we find something for our youth to do. So I'm thinking he's going to tell me what to do, or what his ideas were, but the ideas never came. So we had to kind of come up on our own. So we actually, in our program, myself, Mr. Maya Richardson Sanders, Mr. Ronnie Rhodes, and Dr. Derek Wise, we were all on a committee who actually wrote for and were awarded a grant to actually fund a program that really sought to look at youth, not just youth crime, but youth prevention, youth empowerment, ways in which we could actually reduce the negative stigma or reduce the negative interactions between our young people and law enforcement. So this was our idea, and we were trying to think of something. We were going to come up with an innovative program, but then I thought, somebody else on the team might have, because I'm giving a speech, I thought about it, but I said, why don't we just partner with an organization that's already doing this? We already know people are out there doing this work. We know that it's happening every day. Why don't we partner with someone? So we thought about calling our local law enforcement offices, and I actually asked somebody on our team, do we have any contacts with the Sheriff's Department? And she said, yes, hold on, I'll give you a number. So she gave me a number. It didn't work. So I called her back. I said, this number doesn't work. So she said, no, I have another number. Call this number. This is the number for the sheriff. So I actually called, and I'm thinking I'm going to call, and I'm getting a receptionist or a secretary. He answered the phone. He said, this is Sheriff Ravenel. And it took me a minute, because I wasn't expecting him to answer the phone. So I said, oh, good morning, Sheriff, I am. And I went into my little 1-minute spiel, and it probably was incoherent, but I said, we have funding for a program. So he was like, funding? Oh, okay, cool. He's like, yes, okay, funding. No, we're very interested. Hold on, let me get your contact information. I'm going to put you in touch with the person you need to speak to. And less than I think maybe 2 hours later, Chief Gibbs gave me a call, and we've been talking ever since. That happened in February, and here we are today. So it's just been a testament as to the hard work and really what our passions were aligned, and really what we want to see happen in our community. So we made it happen. We've had to pivot, shape, do some different things along the way, but we're here. We're starting here throughout the summer, but this is something that we're going to continue for years and years to come. This is just the beginning. It's a pilot program for us, but we want to see it grow in other communities and other counties throughout the state. We want this to be something that's replicable throughout the state. So we just happy that you're here. We know that empowering our youth is important. So this week, we've had the mayor of Denmark come. We've had representatives from colleges and universities. We've had resume writing, pitching yourself tips and sessions. Various members of the Sheriff's Office have come. They've talked about various careers in law enforcement. This morning we had a crime scene investigation presentation. So they have just been exposed to a lot of things to empower and equip them in order to be successful in life. So a lot of times this is just about exposure. So we're just happy that we were able to provide this opportunity. And so before we get started with today's agenda, I want to go ahead and acknowledge some very special guests. Dr. Sean Foster, who's the superintendent of Orangeburg County Schools. Thank you, Dr. Foster. Thank you so much. We would also like to thank Mr. Hayward John, who is the Director of Student Services at Orangeburg County School District. And when we made the call, when we had found out that we had yet another pivot, we called Mr. John, explained the situation. He said, okay, no problem. We got this taken care of. And in less than 24 hours, I think, we were here. So we thank you so much for that. We also would like to thank Chairman John E. Wright Sr. of the Orangeburg County Council. And we'd also like to thank Connie N. Porty, who is also an Orangeburg County Council member. She's here? So I just found out that we have Councilwoman Dolores Frazier and Councilwoman Jamie Cooper Smith. I apologize. Thank you all for coming. We've had so happy to have you. And we know that with any program or any initiative that we roll out, we need community support. So we're just so delighted that you all took the time out of your day to come and join us and to come and partner with us. And before I continue any further, I also want to acknowledge Mr. Elamine, who's the principal here at Great Orangeburg Wilkinson High School. He's been making it happen for us all week, and I know we've probably been bugging him about different things, but he's made it happen. So we're just so excited that he is here. And his entire administrative team has just been really wonderful about hosting us and having us here. And it started June 28th, and it concludes tomorrow. And just again, they're a testament to commitment. The school district is closed tomorrow, but they have agreed to open the building for us, just so we can have our activity tomorrow. So that just goes to me, and it shows how very important they know that this program is, and how much they're committed to seeing it succeed, seeing it throughout the county and other schools. So with that being said, I don't want to stay before you long. I'm going to introduce Chief Chandra Gibbs, who has been my counterpart, my right hand, left hand, back hand. We've been working together, texting, calling, just making sure we got the program started and we got it up off the ground. And so she's going to give us some opening remarks. So come on up, Ms. Chief Gibbs.
Good morning. As Dr. Mitchell stated, I'm Chief Gibbs with the Orangeburg County Sheriff's Office. I'm our Chief of Staff. And we've had the pleasure. The opening remarks have been that as she named all of the names of those that are present and those that have come, this is just a reminder that it takes a village. And this is a reminder that it takes the investment. This was the investment of time. This was the investment of resources. And I want to make sure that we also acknowledge the parents, because the parents, grandparents, guardians were bringing these amazing kids out. Like when I tell you we had a ball, I mean, I can be really formalized. I promise y'all I can. But I wanted to make sure that we highlighted the fact that there was a point during this session where we had an open discussion, an open dialogue that consisted of our sheriff and 3 of our other officers that literally, we didn't have any agenda. We were intent about not having an agenda, and we just wanted them to talk. We wanted them to ask the questions. We wanted them to get clarity on what they are seeing and realize that you can have relationship with your law enforcement officers, and that your law enforcement officers do care. And one of the words that Dr. Mitchell said that is very key to me is that not only do we care, we're invested. We're invested in making sure that our youth in Orangeburg County know that they matter. We're invested in making sure that our youth in Orangeburg County know that we love them, we support them, and we're pushing them. We're going to challenge them, absolutely. We're going to make them question what their choices are, and are they making the right choices? Absolutely. But we also are going to make sure that they know that there is a support system, that if they are wavering between the good choice and the bad choice, that they have a Mr. Elamine, that they have a Hayward John, that they have a Sheriff Ravenel, that they have a Dewan Council, that they have all of these entities that are here that are available. And so I want, if they've clapped for us, but can we take a moment and clap it up for our campers? amazing. We often say that our children are our future. I do believe that to a certain extent, but I also believe that we have a responsibility for them to understand their purpose now, because they are the leaders that are in our classrooms. They are the ones that we've listened to them. You'll hear from one of the campers later that has had some amazing contribution to some conversation. And what it took was for the adults to stop talking and for us to listen. And when we stop talking and we open up our ears to hear them, and there is a commitment of change, a commitment of conversation, I believe that we will see exactly what we know Orangeburg County is capable of producing. And Orangeburg County produces visionaries. Orangeburg County produces leaders. Orangeburg County produces the game changers. That's what we produce. And this is a testament of it today. So we are thankful for the partnership that we have. Again, to Dr. Foster, to Hayward John, and to Mr. Elamine, amazing. Thank you so much for the hospitality that you opened up to us. And I also want to acknowledge Leroy. Leroy worked with us day in, day out, and was just phenomenal. So again, thank you for allowing us to serve our children. And I want to tell each and every last one of you, from Chief Chan, it was a privilege to hang out with you this week. There's a lot of things. One of the officers asked me, he said, you know, Chief, when are you going to go away and get refueled? You pour out a lot, but when are you going to go away? But I will tell you that this week has refueled me, because this week I have sat amongst kings and I have sat amongst queens, and I have sat amongst some of the best and the brightest that Orangeburg has to offer. So thank you so very much.
Thank you so much, Chief Gibbs. That is really, it's really what it's all been about this entire week. Coming here and making sure that, you know, we see a lot of negative interactions with our young people in law enforcement, but to see that and to show and demonstrate that there are positive things that happen between youth and law enforcement. There are positive things that happen between people of color and law enforcement. And so those are the things that we need to highlight. We need to make sure that we are, as you said, setting an example. Our children know that we are here. Our students and our young people know that we are here. There's something going on. We're here to support them, which is what empowerment is all about. Empowering you to make the right choices and know that you have leaders, support systems that are out there. So again, we are going to continue with the program, and we are going to have some remarks from our partners, from our leaders of each respective organization. So we have Dr. Lewis Whiteside, who is our Executive Director of 1890 Research and Extension. And then we also have Chief Ravenel here, who's going to give remarks. So Dr. Whiteside, you want to come up first?
Everyone. Hello, everyone. Thank you. Hope I'm not the one who's going to put y'all to sleep, but we got Chief coming next, so I'll leave that to him. So anyway, it's really a pleasure for me to be here. You know, as I walked into the auditorium, I was talking to Liz about, Liz, you know, I have so much to say. She told me don't stay up here a long time. So I'm like, what should I say? She said, just talk about your experience being here. This was my high school. I went to Orangeburg Wilson High School, and I graduated in '89. And it's really great to be back here in this capacity, you know, signing an agreement with the Sheriff Department, working with our kids here. Orangeburg Wilson High School for me was a safe space. And what I mean by safe space was, those of you all who know me, and some of you all know me pretty personally, know that I was one of these kids in town that could have went any way, right or left. We had bouts of homelessness. I come from a broken home. We had instances where, you know, we didn't know where meals were going to come from. All those kind of things. And when you get in situations like that, it's easy to be influenced by things that you should not be influenced by. I had lunch with some guys I graduated from high school with about a month ago. Some of them I hadn't seen since we graduated. And when we started talking over old stories and talking about our backgrounds and stuff, when we came to school, all the things that happened to us before we came to school, we didn't even talk about. It was fun coming to school because school was a safe space. And what this school taught me was regardless of your background, you don't have to make bad choices. You can make good choices, and if you make the good choices, good things come. Now, every one of you all, and my adults in here, and my youth in here, the adults have already passed this stage, but my youth in here is going to come to a point where you have a decision to make, and everybody can pinpoint in their life, normally, the decision that they made that pushed them in a positive direction or a negative direction. That happened for me here at Orangeburg Wilson High School. And I was in a position where I need to make a decision. The bad decision was an enticing decision. But the good decision is what propelled me to be here. And why did I make the good decision? Because of programs like this. Everybody has that voice in their head, the angel on one shoulder and the devil on the other. And when you come up to a point to make a decision, both of them talk to you. And you need to see who you're going to listen to. Well, the community of Orangeburg, South Carolina, prepared me to make that decision. And I made a good decision. A lot of my friends did not make that decision. And their lives did not turn out like mine. So with that, I do want to thank our supporters here. I want to thank Sheriff Ravenel for agreeing to do this and partner with us in this endeavor. I want to thank our county councilmen and administrators that's here also to continue to support, the youth of Orangeburg and the work that you all do, because our youth are not only our future, they're our present. And we have to make sure that they have all the skills they need to be successful in life. And that's why these kind of things are very, very important to me, and I like to come out to these because, again, I was one of these kids that could have gone the wrong path and could have done a lot of different things, had a lot of opportunities. So when we talk about things like conflict resolution and, the discipline required to be successful, all those kind of things we want to make sure that we instill in our youth, and hopefully this campus taught you some of those things. But with that, I'm going to sit down. Have all kind of thoughts in my mind, Dr. Mitchell, to keep talking and saying all kind of things. But I just want to thank Sheriff Ravenel and Chief of Staff McPherson for actually agreeing to do this. I want to thank Dr. Mitchell and all our staff for actually pulling this together, because Orangeburg is near and dear to me, because, again, I grew up here, and I want to make sure that our city and our county, has the same advantages that everywhere else in the state has. So anything that we can do from South Carolina State 1890 to assist that, we're more than willing to do that. So thank y'all very much for having us, and we'll see you later.
Thank you, Doc. Thank you so much. First of all, I want to say, Dr. Mitchell, thank you for that phone call you gave me that day. I'm always getting phone calls, hundreds of calls every day. Majority of those calls backing me into a corner. Want to know what happened here, what happened there, why it happened. This is one of the phone calls that I'm glad I took. I take them all, but I'm just glad I was able to answer that call. And halfway through her conversation, I said, I was thinking in my mind, you can stop because you already sold it. It's done. I just need to get you to the person that's going to do the work. That was McPherson. Because sometimes with my job with politics, sometimes they come things that I have to, or sometimes not have to, but sometimes, politicians say things that they can't really do at the time. And I didn't want to make a promise that we couldn't keep, but this was something that, no doubt in my mind, when you mentioned the kids and what you could do, what y'all were willing to do, it was done. So again, thank y'all so much. Doc, thank you for the partnership. And for these kids, this camp has been enlightening to me. I had meetings about every morning, but I made my way over here to the camp with these kids and just sit down and just listening to some of the questions and the comments that they had. If I can go out into the community with this partnership, with the little we have to do, go out into communities 4 parts of this county, the largest county, second largest county in the state, and make a difference by pulling 20 kids out and for a week to be with them. If that's my job, I love it. I love it. And like I told these kids, thank you. Like I told these kids here, you know, it's not about me, it's not about Ravenel. You know, everybody thank Ravenel, but Ravenel's job is easy when you have people that work with him that get things done. When you have county council people that approve for me to go out and do things, that's what makes my job easy. When you have people, when you call people like Dr. Forrester and Mr. Elgin, say, hey, we need a place. You know, well, we're not going to call them. We'll let Hayward call them. We'll put it on Hayward. We need a place. And it was nothing but a word. So this is what makes Ravenel smile. When Ravenel gets up in the morning, Dr. Mitchell, you know, when I'm getting dressed and coming to work, my responsibility is the safety and security for over 100,000 people. And I don't take that lightly. And these 20 people, like I told them during the camp, you know, they're going to take our jobs one day. And I want to be a part of molding somebody that's going to take this job. This young man that's sitting here on the stage, just hearing him talk, and I was just sitting there with my mouth open, just listening to him. When they were going to lunch, I think, and he was walking by me, and I said, hey, I want you to shadow me one day. And he said, who, me? I said, yeah, you. I want you to shadow me one day, because if we pass and let the talent that I see this week pass and don't try to mold it, it's our fault. We have a community that's, it's not just our community, it's the state, it's the country. It's not getting any better. We're going to have to do something about it. And these kids are our future. So Dr. Whitehead, Dr. Mitchell, Dr. Forrester, Councilman Wright, and we also have Councilman Ravenel here also with us, with the other council people. Thank y'all so much for what y'all do for Orangeburg County. And again, whatever you might hear, whatever people might say, it's not about Leroy Ravenel. It's about the kids in our community. And if that takes me out, then I'll go out smiling if I'm helping a child. So again, thanks for the partnership. We really appreciate it. We're going to work hard this camp. Like Dr. Mitchell said, they worked them hard because we had to change a lot of things around, do different things, but she was on the phone, they were on the phone, and McPherson will keep me abreast of what's going on, and I said, you know, just make it happen, and they made it happen. So thank y'all again.
Before we get to the part of the ceremony, in the program where we actually had the signing, what we wanted to do is we did want to hear from one of our campers, and each of them could get up and actually tell about their experiences. And as we're here today, as we finish the ceremony, we encourage you to talk to them about their experiences this week, things that they might have done, something that might have left an impression and a mark on them that they're going to carry. But one of the, when we asked for volunteers, or we said that we wanted a student to speak, one of the first people, or one of the first campers that raised their hand was Chase right here. He raised his hand, and he was ready to talk about his experiences, why he chose to come to camp, and what he's learned from that. So, I mean, we're just excited that he's going to come up here and give the perspective. We can talk all day as adults, but as we said, we need to listen to our children. They have a unique gift and a unique perspective that we don't often see. So we would like to have Mr. Chase come up and give us your remarks. Yeah, let's give him a hand.
First of all, I want to say thank you to the South Carolina State 1890 Research and Extensions Program, such as Dr. Mitchell and Mr. Jones. Then I want to say thank you to the Sheriff's Office of Orangeburg County. Most importantly, Sheriff Ravenel and Chief Gibbs. This camp was really a good learning experience. I joined this camp to because I really thought it was going to be a learning experience, and it really was. To the administrators that watched over us, to the people that made this happen, I truly say thank you. Thank you for really making this happen. To deputies and investigators and everybody from the sheriff's office that came and spoke to us, I really want to say thank you. It was really a blessing, and it touched my heart. This camp, I learned a lot of things. Gang prevention. I want to say thank you to Investigator Council back there. I want to say thank you to you. I learned a lot from you. To the 3 officers we had dialogue with, and we asked questions, I want to say thank you for giving your honest opinion. It's just a lot I can say, but just thank you, thank you, thank you. I learned a lot. Thank you.
Good job. Good job. Thank you so much for those words. We really appreciate them. So, like, just hearing things like that, it gives you purpose, and it gives you a lights a fire in you to do more and to see more and to be able to say you not only took, but you gave and you poured into someone else. So that guess what? They're going to pour into other people, and we want to see a domino effect. We say at 1890, I might know 5,000 people, but you know 5,000 people. You know 5. So we all put it together. We can reach 1 million people when we put our knowledge together. And this is one of the 5,000 that we know is going to just do phenomenal, as well as all of our campus who were here this week. So let me give you all a round of applause again. So now we come to the part in our agenda where we're going to have the actual MOA, Memorandum of Agreement signing between our offices. So Dr. Whiteside and Sheriff Ravenel, please move over to the table. So thank you, Chief Gibbs. And as she said, there are just so many people on the 1890 staff that I could thank and go on and on. But I do want to acknowledge Mr. Leroy Jones, who he actually left to go so he can get lunch for us. But he's the 4-H Youth Development Agent in my office, and he's just been here every day. It's been phenomenal. He's helped out in any way that he can to make this a success. Also, Ms. Demaya Richardson-Sanders, who is our 4-H state program leader, who has, helped me throughout this whole process as I'm a newbie. So now I guess I'm not a freshman anymore. But she made sure that everything went smoothly and helped implement everything that you see here today. So without further ado, as Chief said, I have some wonderful, wonderful visionary leaders and visionary supervisors who say the same thing. They give an idea, but no roadmap. They give an idea, but no, follow-up. It's just, okay, get it done. Okay, let me know. So that's what we're dealing with. But it's a good thing because they allow us to go out there and go for things and achieve great things that benefit our citizens and benefit especially our youth. So without further ado, and to conclude our program, we're going to have closing remarks by Mr. Eddie Abijan, who is our Extension Administrator. Thank you.
How's everybody doing? One of the things I don't like to do is be the last person that is between you and the lunch. But when I was coming, they handed me 3-page script that I need to go through. But I can tell you this, 3/4 of the script is already covered by people who came before me. And what I want to let you know is, I'm the extension administrator, and most of this program fall within my line. And I had to make sure that I give the proper and appropriate and necessary support to my program leaders, my agents, and my all the staff that we have to make sure that the program is being implemented the way we want it so that each one of the participants can benefit from it. Most of the time they say, this is the program, this is the way you have to do it, and you go and do it. I always tell our regional directors and the agent, you go and feel the people temperature and see what they need, because our role is to satisfy the need of the people we serve, not to implement what we think that is good for them. But let's find out what are their needs, and then we design our programs and our activity to address the specific need. That way, when we leave, they already have what they need, they can continue to do that. And prime example is this collaboration that we have right here. We have 1890 Research and Extension. We have the Sheriff's Department. Who can even think about that and say you have the law enforcement, you have the education force paired together to help the leaders of our future. Each one of those kids that sit there, they are all leaders. It's up to us to make sure what type of leader they turn out to be tomorrow. If we don't put anything into it and they turn out to be something we don't want, let's don't blame them, because we want it to be that way. We didn't do anything to direct them. We didn't do anything to mold them. We didn't do anything to give them the right, proper direction. So whatever they become, we need to be accountable and accept the responsibility. One of the things that we at 1890 Research and Extension we don't want to do is most of us, like Dr. Watson said, he told you about his background. Most of us at 1890, we all have the same background. We are not different from who you are today sitting in that chair. We came all like that. I just happen to be coming from far away, but I experienced similar things. When I came to this country to go to school, I experienced similar things. But it's everything you have today is how you want it to be. If you decided this is who I want to be, I can guarantee you that's who you want to be. And you're going to successfully get to what you want to be. And I'm not going to hold you too long because I said I don't want to be between you and lunch. But before I close, I want to thank the Sheriff Department team, the kid and the parent, the councilman, and and also I want to thank the school district, the superintendent, and the principal for allowing us to even come here and do this program. Because I can tell you this, I don't know how much you know about it. This program has been shifted so many times. And it started giving me a sleepless night. And I started wondering, are we going to be able to pull it out? And then when Dr. Mitchell came to me and said, we found a space, I said, is it a space or supposed to be a space? But she told me that now the right people were at the right place, and we're going to be at OW. I said, fine. And look at us today. We got everybody in place. We all enjoying it. Luckily, unfortunately, it's only a short time, but I want to thank Chief and the Sheriff and all your team for allowing us to pair with you and provide these kids what they need. So with that, I want to say thank to all of you. Thank all the 1890 staff, support staff, and you all have a nice day.